Hello everybody and welcome to a special live edition of Ask Pav. This edition we're going to focus on my Route 66 world record ride, which will be kicking off 3rd of September this year. Had quite a lot of questions since launching that, so I'm going to tackle a few of them now. What we're going to do is, if you want to leave a question in the comments, I will tackle that next time I do one of these posts. Okay, so cracking on with question from Dave, which is, how long have you been training and what is your training currently like? So my training, I basically took about 9 months off the bike through various illness, injury and mental problems after winning the KCA 12 hour, which was encompassed into the ECA 12 in 2016. That was a hard time for me being off the bike for that long, and came back and did one race in 2017, which was the Tour of Cambridge chrono. After that took a little bit of break because the training for that was more than my body really wanted to do. It was a bit of crash training. I really wanted to do that event, and that was my motivation. I've had a virus as well, following on from sort of in the winter of 2016, 2017, which comes back every now and again. It's been quite a long journey to get myself fit and get the sessions back to back and sorted like that. So we've got Ian, who's my great friend, and he's an excellent coach who works for me at Direct Power Coaching. He's been overseeing my training and keeping me accountable and removing the bias from my training. I'm quite biased with my own training. If it's sunny, I'll go out. If it's raining, I'll stay indoors. But he's like, dictates to me what I've got to do, which is what I need, and that's the reason why a lot of people need coaches. So I've been, it's been quite a while now. I've been steadily building back into it. Right now, we're looking at extending the amount of hours that I'm on the bike in consecutive days. So quite capable of doing 2 centuries in a week at the moment. We're building up for that to be 3 centuries, and also trying to get those closer together. Looking like spending a lot less time indoors, which is a shame, and this time of the year in California it's getting a bit cold and wet again. It was really nice last month, so really looking forward to the weather being a lot better, because I tell you what, I mentally struggle when the weather is not nice, as I'm sure a lot of us do. Okay, so James has sent the next question asking, what sort of power output will be aiming for each day? Truth is, we haven't really got to that point yet. I can tell you it's not going to be a lot, and it's not as much as I'm putting out when I go out for rides now. What we're looking at is definitely over-pacing at the moment, and that's just simply as I haven't got enough hours in the day to go out and do like a 7 or 8 hour ride. So we're looking at doing a 4 or 5 hour ride, and then having time to sort of still run my business and do all the other things that we all have to do, because I mean, I'm not a professional cyclist, so I've got a life to fit around, a family. I've got to pick my stepdaughter up from school every now and again, all of these things. So the only way we could get that done was to make sure that I'm forcing enough stress in my body. They're not all out centuries obviously, but they're still higher aerobic endurance, and they're quite specific in that terms. If I had to put a guess on it, it's going to be sort of 100 to 150 watts for me, day in, day out. That will give us, should be enough recovery and also hit the time targets. But like I said, at this stage with 6 months to go, it's not something that we're worrying about too much. Right now we're worrying just about making sure that my body is able to recover for 11 days, which we're on track with. I'm confident. So I have no concerns that the training's that we're going to have a problem with my performance. Okay, so Claire has sent the next one. Will you be riding supported, and what were your plans for this? So it was always my intention to have support with me. I think at this stage, in terms of I've always liked the idea of ultra cycling, coming from doing 12 hours, entered 313 in terms of the KCA affiliated teams. I didn't like the idea of doing my first sort of really long challenge without support. I have a lot of respect for people that can go out and do that, so we did that, and it just so happened that actually the charities wouldn't allow me to raise money for them without us having that support. their insurance and their risk assessment said categorically the only way that they would let me raise money for them and they would support me was if I had people there to look after me, especially with my mental health situation. That if anybody who's ever slipped into overtraining will know that mentally that can be quite hard. Burnout's the mental fatigue, and it's one of those things that needs to be managed. So for me to try and do it on my own is probably overreaching, maybe one day. But for now, we're looking like we're going to get an RV. We've got one company who's very interested in sponsoring the event, and hopefully they'll come on board. We will also probably have a car, hire car, so we'll be looking to engage with a hire car company to provide that. And that'll just be to sort of stagger the traffic. Route 66 is a very broken road. It's not been looked after. It's mainly frontage streets for interstates. A lot of people who have rode it have actually said that they considered and or have jumped the fence and rode on the verge of the freeway or the interstate because it's in better condition. That's a bit scary. Other people have said that it's just full of RVs and lorries. So we're going to make sure that, obviously without obstructing traffic and obeying the sort of 3-car rule if we get a queue or anything like that, we're going to make sure that I'm not going to have a massive semi-articulated lorry flying past me or hitting me. So we'll make sure about that. What bike we'll be riding is the next question. Just been speaking to my friend and client Will off of Abbott's Cycles and William Sawyer Cars. He's going to be looking at providing a Trek to Marnie for the event. Trek, obviously, are bikes that I love. Really excited and really delighted he's come on board with that. So that I've ridden one of those before, and I can say that that's probably my favourite, my first choice. So really happy to get on board with that. Okay, so the final question we've got today is how much will I be eating and what foods will it be? So one of the things about my coaching that I'm really passionate about is eating real foods. There's a place for gels, there's a place for some sports nutrition products, but I am really adamant that I'm not going to need any for this journey. It's going to be real food. I don't need any. I'm sure there will be periods where I get GI distress, gastrointestinal distress. I can guarantee though that if I try to do it all on sports nutrition products, there will be a lot of that. While, as I say, there's a place for that, I would rather just use common sense and whole food nutrition, which is the basis of my Nutritionally Fit program. Search for DPC Nutritionally Fit on Facebook or go to my website and there's a page on that about my thoughts on that. Totally free resource, paid for by my business. And that's what we're going to be doing, just because that's what it is. We obviously, hydration is something else, which in order to get the quantity of electrolytes in, we're going to be using precision hydration, and I can't rate that highly enough. And if you haven't tried it, you can use PAD15 at the checkout to get 15% off your first order. So that is it. I am delighted to be doing my first live or pre-recorded Ask Pav. I'm not sure we're going to be doing it ever live. The problem is having an audience in the UK. 8 hours difference means that timing this would be a bit problematic. But if you want to leave a question in the comments, I will get back to you. I will do another section on this. And again, thank you for watching this. Thank you for supporting me. Any donations, whether that's like pounds to hundreds of pounds, are greatly appreciated. Okay, I'd like to thank the following people for making donations: Joe and Darren, Colin, Ken, somebody anonymous, £500. Thank you so much. I would love to shake your hand. That is crazy. Richard, thank you so much. James, again, thank you. My parents have donated 500 between them. Thanks, guys. It means an awful lot. Robert, Guy, another anonymous 30. That was Simon. Drew at Neptune Media. Thank you, mate. And Gary. plus Sheila, Stuart Angeritz and Jim. Thank you all so much for donating. So far, just through personal donations, so no corporate sponsorship, we're well above $2,000, and I couldn't be more delighted with that. So thank you so much, guys. I'll be back soon with another training update. Don't forget to leave your comments in that questions in the comments.